Now first we're going to discuss about for loop, how to work with for loop and all. Listen here all of you. I'm just creating the new project. Now it's already opened the existing project, that is web application for whatever we have created on the last class. And now we will see that how to work with the for loop now. The Visual Studio is opening. It will take some time actually to open it. Yeah, listen here, all of you very carefully. I'm creating a new instance of new website. I'm creating new web page. I'm creating. As of now, two pages are there. One is HTML page 1 and HTML page 2. I'm creating one more page, that is HTML page 3. Now, listen here. We're going to see how to work with the loops here. Now, I'm taking a script tag. As you people know that if you want to write any JavaScript code, we need to we need to place in between script opening and closing tag, right? Now, I'm just displaying a welcome message to the user 10 times. Okay. Now I'm just taking for loop for int I is equal to 0. Int or var in the JavaScript, as I told you, people will be having only one data type in the JavaScript, that is var is a data type. Now I want to display a message to the user 10 times. So I starts with 0 and I ends with 10. Right? Clear all of you? Now if I want to display a message to the user, now we need to use document dot write off document dot write off. Here I'm displaying the message to the user, that is welcome message. Okay, welcome. And after that, after displaying the one welcome, you need to display other welcome in a new line. Am I right? So we need to use the break statement here. We need to use the break statement. Now observe here all of you very carefully. As I told you people, we can able to execute the code both in Internet Explorer or Firefox, whichever the browser you have selected. So I'm just executing as it is like Internet Explorer. Now observe here very carefully. So we are displaying the welcome message to the user 10 times. See here. It is processing it. Some issue is there. We'll check it. There is a problem of website, whatever we have created. We'll just try to create a new website. Otherwise, I'll just try to create a new website. I'm just creating the other website here. ASP.NET empty web application. In this empty web application, I'm trying to take a empty template with the web form is an option, and I'm creating a new website here. Website is created. I'm just trying to create a new web page, that is HTML page 1, and again I'm just writing the script code here. Script type is equal to text or JavaScript. It is text or JavaScript type is mandatory. It's not mandatory. It's your wish. Whichever, if you want to take the type, you can take. Otherwise, it's your wish. Now I want to start with 0 and I want to end till less than 10. That means 0 to 9, right? So if you want to display 10 times, then I less than 10. Okay, now observe here all of you, document.write off. I'm just trying to display welcome message to the user and I'm trying to run it. All of you have completed the last task, whatever I have given, 9000528. I mean, it would be having ABC at the end. Am I right? That is the task I have given all of you. Am I right? See here, the welcome message is displayed 10 times, but there is no break over here. If you want to give a break, you just need to add the break tag over here. That's it. Save it and again coming to here and refresh this so that you can able to display the welcome message here 10 times. This is how we can able to display 10 times the repetitive task we can able to display at the output with the help of loops concept, and that is available in any of the programming language like C, C++, Java and .NET. Everywhere we have a loops concept. Okay, so here also in the JavaScript as well, we'll be having a loops concept, and along with this for loop, we'll be having a while loop and do while loop, and for in loop is there other than for each loop of .NET, how to work with for in loop, how to create the arrays and all those things you people try to practice. Today's first task is to practice is just try to practice the other loops. We have just discussed about the for loop in the program now. You people try to complete the while loop and try to complete the do while loop and for in loop, this for in loop is similar to for each loop of .NET, and try to see how to create a simple arrays concept also. I mean, in the .NET also we have seen, right, int of a is equal to new int of 5, and the 5 values we are creating, that is 1 2 1 2 3 4 5, and to repeat these things we are using for each loop in the .NET, like for each int I in the array is a. So we can able to loop these values. The same way, try to create a array of 5 values. Try to repeat these 5 values of array with the help of for each loop of .NET. Clear, all of you? And try to work with these other loops, that is while loop and do while loop, for in loop of JavaScript. And now we'll going to discuss the other concept, that is the regular expressions in the .NET. Sorry, regular expressions in the JavaScript. In the .NET also we have the regular expression, in the JavaScript also we have. Now first we'll try to understand what is the meaning of regular expression, how to use the regular expressions and all the things. Now listen here, all of you, very carefully. On the last class we have seen how to perform the mobile number validation, right? Mobile number validation. We have seen that the number need to have a 10 digits, and number needs to start with either 9 or 8 or 7, right? Along with this, we have missed the other validation, that is whether in the entire number is having any character or not. So like this, we have many things to check. Only mobile number validation, it is only having small validation, that is any character is there or not, and it is having a 10 digits or not, and it is starts with 9 or 8 or 7. Like the simple validations are there for mobile number validation. Suppose, listen here, if you are going to validate the email ID, if you are performing the email ID validation, it would be very difficult, right? See here, if you are performing with the email ID validation, and now in the email ID validation, first you need to check. Suppose the example that I'm taking my email ID, that is iskalyani45@gmail.com. See, if you want to perform the email ID validation, first you need to check that before @ is there any other value or not. Before @ must and should some value is required, right? Some of the people, if you are entering only @gmail.com, it would be difficult. So what you need to check first, before @ is there any character is available or not? Is there any character is available or not? Okay, character is available or not. Now the other one is after @ is there any dot is there or not? After @ dot is required. One dot is required. Suppose see one dot is required. Now suppose see, some of the people, they'll put an email ID like this, ias.kalyani.45@gmail.com. So there are many dots right here. So we need to check after how many after dot. I mean, we need to check the after @ is there any other dots or not. Suppose for example that if you are taking array count, dot counts, 4 will come. See this 3 will come. See 1, 2, 3. So what you need to do, third index of dot, see, third index of dot must and should greater than @ index of @ okay, index of @ is this, right? I mean, see, index of @ is this, and along with the third index is this. So this index count is more than this one. So suppose the example that if you are giving like this, only @ias.kalyani.45@gmail.com, no dot. So at that time this condition would be fair. See here, must and should need to be like this. Third index of dot is greater than index of @ because index of @ is this. After @ only we have dot, right? So this value is this value index is greater than this value. So we need to check this condition. So like this, we have so many validations to perform. So other than writing those many if conditions, if else conditions, and checking internal ifs and all the things, we have a beautiful mechanism of any programming language, that is the regular expressions. Now we'll see that how to perform the email ID validations with the help of regular expression. So we have a separate new technologies to create a regular expression. Our technology, if you want to learn, the technology, if you want to learn, it would be a very difficult, and for that reason we just need to type in the Google saying that I want an email ID validation regular expression for Indian mobile number validation regular expression. Like this, if you are typing in a Google, there are many options will come. Just read the comments under each and every regular expression. take which one you are preferable, which one it is liked by many people, which one are commenting good, then take that regular expression and use that regular expression in the JavaScript. Okay, how to take that and how to read the comments and how to use that in the JavaScript and all the things, I'll show it to you people in the online now. Listen here all of you very carefully. Listen here. Email ID validation, email ID regular expression plus JavaScript. Like this you need to type. Other than email ID, Indian phone number regular expression plus JavaScript. Like this, whatever the one you want to search, you just take here and regular expression plus JavaScript. Okay. Now see, I'm just opening the first one. Most of the times, whenever you are going to the Stack Overflow, take the one whichever put a tick. Like a tick undan chusara. The green color tick is a suggested by many people. Try to take that only. If the comment is having the green color tick, that means many people have validated it. Many people have used it. Okay. Now we'll see here the best option, which one we can take. Now see here all of you. First we'll try to take the HTML base which can accept the user to enter the email ID. Okay. Now listen here all of you very carefully. I'm just taking the table tag. The table tag I'm taking a tr. The tr I'm taking a th. I'm asking the user enter email ID, right? Enter email ID, right? The email ID I'm taking here in the text box. Correct all of you people know, right? I'm just taking the text box. In the text box I'm accepting the user to enter the email ID. See email ID, and I'm taking other tr now to click on the button tr and th. In the th I'm taking the button to sub click. Okay. Now whenever the user is clicking on the button, as we discussed on the last class also, on click method will going to on click. This will call the method that is email validate. Email validate. Okay. Now listen, I'm just taking this method and I'm just going to this place and I'm writing a script. Here I'm taking a function. In the function I'm taking this method, and in this one I'm just taking the name of the email ID. How to get the email ID? Document dot get element by ID, where email ID is equal to document dot get element by ID. My ID is text1. From the text box 1 I'm taking the value. Simple, right? All of you clear? Now I'm just taking the regular expression that whatever we need, whatever we have now. This is a validated one. Now listen here all of you very carefully. This is the regular expression. We need to take the regular expression now. Now I'm just copying the regular expression here. Now what I'm trying to do is, see here all of you, I'm testing my regular expression. Regular expression is testing with the email ID whatever you have given. This test will going to return either true or false. See here re.test of what is your email ID? You are given your email ID in the email ID variable. So this test, if this re expression is matching with the email ID whatever you have given, then if condition will going to fire, or else if you are given invalid email ID, then else condition will going to be fire. See here all of you, alert, I'm taking that if it is test is returning true, then valid email ID. Otherwise we are trying to display the information to the user saying that invalid email ID. Simple, right? Now I'm saving this, I'm trying to run this. We'll try to see whether it is working fine or not. Okay. Now observe here all of you. I'm just trying to enter the email ID here. IAS 45. Just I'm giving IAS 45. See here, it is showing that invalid email ID. Okay. Now observe here. We'll try to perform different validation. See here all of you. I'm just giving @gmail.com before I didn't given anything. See here, it is saying that invalid email ID. Okay. Again, see here all of you. I'm just taking IAS Kalyani 45 @.com I'm giving. Okay. Now I'm not giving Gmail. See here, invalid email ID. So like this, we need to perform different validations. And see here, many if conditions we need to write if you are performing this way. See here all of you, now I'm giving a valid email ID, that is iaskalyani45 @gmail.com. Now I'm just clicking on this. This time it is showing that valid email ID. Alright, all of you. Like this, we can able to perform the email ID validations with the help of a regular expression. The regular expression we are taking from online, we are pasting here, and whatever the regular expression you have taken, we are testing that expression with the email ID whatever you have given. If the test is returning the true, that means the expression is matching with the email ID whatever you have produced. If it is match, then it is returning true. Whenever it is written true, then if condition will going to execute. If the test is returning false, at that time it will move to the else condition. In the else condition, it will going to display the information as invalid email ID. So today what you people need to do is in the regular expressions, you people try to perform the validations like for Indian mobile number, and try to take the password validation. The password validation must and should need to have the password need to be 8 or greater than 8 characters in length. And one more validation for the password you need to do is the password need to have a one special character, and it need to have a number, and it remaining all are, I mean, one special character is required, one number is required, and one capital letter is also required. And must and should the length of the password would be 8 or greater than 8 in the count. Okay, so try to complete these two validations and try to check the regular expressions in the Google, and try to take only that regular expression or dot test of whatever the number or whatever the password you have given from the text box to the variable, that is document.getElement by id and the id dot value, and you can validate it with the help of this and re.test. If the test is matched, then it is a valid number, or otherwise it is an invalid number. Like this, try to complete the regular expressions and try to complete the remaining loops of JavaScript. Okay. Now this is what about the JavaScript actually. Now we'll try to start with the other concept, that is DLL. Okay. Now observe here all of you very carefully. We have two types of applications in the .NET. One is DLL and one is EXE. Okay, and one is EXE. As we discussed in the starting classes, in the DLL we don't have main function. No main function there in the DLL. And coming to EXE, we have a main function. I'm getting some noise. Please mute. Yeah, in the EXE we have a main function. Observe here all of you very carefully. The DLL is not going to execute directly because it is not having a main function. Observe here all of you very carefully. The program execution will going to start from main function. Whether you are taking any programming language like C or C++ or Java or .NET, the program execution always will start from main function. If there is no main function, there is no starting point at all. So there is no execution for that. So DLL will not going to execute directly. And coming to EXE will execute because it is having a main function. So if it is not executing, then what is the use of DLL? That is a common question from any one of you. Am I right? Suppose see example that if it is not having a main function and it is not executing, what is the use of writing many lines of code in the DLL? That is a common funda, and that is a common question can anyone ask, right? So listen here. Even though it is not executing the DLL, even though it is not executing, we can take a reference of the DLL in the EXE and we can execute as many times you want in the you want in the EXE application. Now I'm telling you people, see here, DLL even though it is not executing directly, we can add the DLL reference in EXE. We can add the DLL reference in EXE, and indirectly we can execute the DLL through EXE. Okay, through EXE. So there is a question all of you, how to add the DLL reference in EXE, how to execute the DLL through EXE. That all the things we're going to see now in the programs wise. Now we will see the history of the DLL and what are the disadvantages of the DLL, what other technologies are there other than DLL and all the things. Now I'm telling you people, right, DLL will indirectly execute with the help of EXE. Am I right? Now there is a scenario that DLL can able to execute indirectly with the help of only .NET EXEs. Only .NET EXEs to maatrame adi DLL execute avvagalaru. Java EXEs with the Java EXEs you can't add the DLL. Only in the .NET EXEs only we can able to add. Suppose see example that there is a code that is reusable. It need to reusable to other technologies also like Java and PHP and other. So coming to .NET DLL, it will not be executed in other technologies like Java and PHP and other technologies like Ruby on Rails and all the things. So there is a question: how to overcome the DLL problem with other is there any other technologies other than DLL? Is there any other way other than DLL that can be supported in other technologies like Java and PHP and Ruby on Rails? Yes, we have other mechanisms in the .NET other than DLL to use in other technologies like Java and PHP and Ruby on Rails. See, the main funda is whatever the DLL code we need to use, it need to reuse in other technologies. Okay, like Java and PHP and other technologies. See here, DLL can able to work with only EXEs of .NET. It not be supports in other technologies. So we have other mechanisms here. Those are web services, and WCF services and web APIs. These are the concepts are there in the .NET to support other technologies like like Java and PHP and Ruby on Rails. So the web services code and WCF code and web API code that will support the other technologies. Okay, so nowadays most of the people they are not writing the DLLs. The people are writing the WCF services and the web services and web API services because it can support to other technologies like Java and PHP and Ruby on Rails. Even though it is not using in other, even though it is not using in other technologies, DLLs are there in the starting of the .NET. Everything in the .NET would be in the form of DLLs only. We need to add the reference of the DLL and we can use the methods of the DLL. Okay, first we'll see. I mean, as I'm telling you people, even though the DLL is not working directly, we can add the reference of the DLL and the DLL. We can add the reference of the DLL and EXE. In EXE, we can add the reference of DLL and we can execute indirectly the DLL with the help of EXE. So we'll see how to create the DLL, how to use the DLL reference in EXE and all those things. Now, observe here all of you very carefully. Listen here, I'm just creating a new Windows Forms application. In the new Windows Forms application, I'm trying to take the class library. Class library create చేస్తున్నారు అంటే it would be creating the DLL for you. Okay. Now listen here, all of you very carefully. I'm just trying to add the class library. Now, మనకి DLL అనే extension ఎలా తెలుస్తుంది అంటే just try to right click on the class library one and open folder in File Explorer and bin debug. In the debug, see here, as of now in the debug folder no data is there. Once you compile the code, that means once you build the code, the DLL would be placed in the debug folder. See, now class library 1.dll. Now observe here all of you very carefully. In the same solution, I'm trying to add the other project. That project is of type exe. See here, I'm trying to add a new project. The project I'm trying to add is Windows application. See here, all of you. So in my same application, same solution, I have two projects. One is DLL project and one is exe project. I'm telling you people, right? I mean, exe will go. I mean, the application exe application extension is .exe. So see here, all of you. I'm right clicking on this. I'm going to open folder in File Explorer and bin here, debug here. The extension is what? DEXE. The extension of the DLL is what? .dll. See, exe and DLL. Okay, now I'll tell you another thing also. As I'm telling you people, right, in the class library we don't have any main function. Defaultly also no main function. See here, there is no main function in the class. That coming to the exe application, if I'm going to the class file, see here we have a main function. Okay, now like this we can able to take the we can able to create a DLL and we can able to create the exe. See here, all of you observe here very carefully. I'm trying to take the two functions here. Public integer add is a method. This method I'm trying to write in a class library one. That means in the DLL I'm trying to write here. Now this method will take two parameters, that is int a and int b. Now observe here, all of you very carefully, and return a plus b here, and along with this the same way I'm trying to take one more method here, one more method, that is subtraction is a method name. Subtraction is a method name. subtraction is a method name. I'm trying to take it as a minus b. Okay, now I'm compiling this solution. Now observe here, this point is more important. Observe here, I have taken a class library, that is a DLL. In the DLL we have a class 1. In the class 1 we have two functions, that is add and subtraction. Am I right, all of you? Now I'm just trying to show you people how to add the reference of DLL in exe. DLL reference exe లో ఎలా యాడ్ చేస్తాము అన్నది చూద్దాం. Now I'm trying to right click on the references, add reference. I'm going to take the reference of this. See here, all of you. I mean, if you want where the DLL is available, right click on this, open folder in File Explorer. Just try to copy this. And I'm again going to the references of exe. I'm going to the exe file, and in the exe file I'm trying to click on the reference, add reference. That I'm browsing where the DLL is available. Just now we have copied the path, and in the path we'll be having a bin debug. The debug we have a DLL. I'm just clicking on add and I'm clicking on OK. See here, the DL in the exe application, the DLL is added. Now I'm going to here in the form 1. When you are clicking on a button 1, you need to call the add function. Whenever you are clicking on a button 2, you need to call the subtraction function. Okay. See here, what is the name of the DLL? Class library 1. Class library 1 OB is equal to new class library 1. That means you have created the object for the DLL class here. See, class 1. That means namespace name dot class name. See, for the class that is available in a DLL, we have created the object, and as I told you people, whenever you are clicking on a first button, you need to call the add. Whenever you are clicking on a second button, you need to call the subtraction, right? Now int add result is, int add is equal to ob dot add is a method. This method is expecting two parameters, 10 and 20, and the add, whatever the result is there, that add result I'm just showing in message box like this. Clear, all of you? Now I'm just copying this. Now we'll try to call the subtraction function that is available here. So 20 and 10, if you are passing it, we're going to return 10, because 20 minus 10 is 10. And subtraction I'm just showing here, and the subtraction result is like this. Now among these two projects, which one we need to run now? Windows application 1, right? Now I'm just putting right click on this. I'm putting this as a startup project, because it will going to start now. See here, all of you, very carefully, whichever the project is startup project, it would be bolded. I mean, it would be marked like, it would be thickly marked compared to this. Okay, now I'm just trying to run this, and I'm trying to run this. Observe here, all of you, very carefully. Whenever you are clicking on a first button, you need to call the addition. Whenever you are clicking on a second button, you need to call the subtraction. 20 plus 10 is 30, 20 minus 10 is 10, right? This is the way we can able to add the reference of the DLL, and we can able to execute it indirectly with the help of exe. Am I right? Indirectly the DLL will going to execute with the help of exe. We are adding the reference of the DLL. We are adding the reference of the DLL here. And after adding this, we just need to create an object for the class of DLL, and we need to call the methods of that class. Those are add and subtraction. See here, we are using this add and subtract. This add and subtract would be available in this class. See here, I'm right clicking on this and go to definition. In the method, in the DLL, we'll be having two classes like this, add and subtraction. Clear, all of you? This is how we can able to create the DLL, and this is how we can able to reuse the DLL that is available in other application. We can able to add the reference of the DLL, and we can able to use it in an exe application. Now, as I'm telling you people, DLL will not be usable in other technologies like Java and PHP and Ruby on Rails like that. DLL can able to use only on .NET EXEs. Only in the .NET applications only we can able to use. That is the reason, to overcome the disadvantages of the DLL. The people are using nowadays. The people are using other things like services. Those are web services and WCF services and web API services. All those things. Okay, later on in our classes we're going to discuss these things, and you people just need to remember DLL exe differences, how to create the DLL and how to add the DLL in exe, and how to use the DLL methods in the exe application and all those things. Okay, and I'll try to practice the DLL and try to add the DLL in exe. Along with this, try to practice creating of arrays in the JavaScript, and try to practice other loops of JavaScript, and try to practice the other regular expression like password regular expression in the Indian email ID regular expressions in JavaScript. Okay, enough for today, and we'll continue the class on tomorrow. And tomorrow the class timings will be 8 a.m. IST. 1 hour will be prepone the session. 1 hour. As usual, the timings of the class would be 9 a.m. IST. We are postponing the class to 8 a.m. IST. Okay. Enough for today, and we'll continue the class on tomorrow. Bye bye. Yeah.